Hello. Hello. How is everyone? Wow, what have I joined? New members, Jordan Lindell-Lease, thanks for becoming a minion, and Ricardo Nobrega. I'm going to call you Ricardo, so I don't butcher your surname. Hello, hello. Thank you for becoming minions. We've got quite a little crew of minions now. Yes, a wizard is never late, nor is he early. Hello, guys. How are we doing? It's not going too bad. I just made myself a nice little decaf, little coffee. We are still trying to perfect this silly Sand Devil team. Wouldn't even believe the week I've had trying to make this team work. We didn't get any books on the A2, so we're a bit out of luck with Tomb Drang at the moment. What is everyone doing? Did you win your clan versus clans? How did that go, guys? I know it's not a personal one, but hey, you know, it's nice to win a few ones every now and then. $40 degrees. Good lord. That's insanely cold. Yeah, I need to do Spider, but you know me. Ever the distraction. We're not doing Spider at the moment. Bring in the mouse. Oh, you've got him already, have you, Noah? You got the rat catcher. Yeah, in America they got the you've got a what do they call it? A bomb cyclone going on, right? Where pretty much half of America's in like stupidly cold temperatures. Hey Samuel, glad the optimizer is helping. Yeah, Arctic blast, very cold, right? Yeah, it's true. I mean, at a certain point in Canada, right, you just accept the cold is the cold, and any old number that people put out there doesn't really matter, right? It's cold. Arizona, is Arizona not hit by this the bomb cyclone then? Is Arizona all right? Is it dodging it? It's a good one, Jessica. Yeah, you move from the US, from Scotland, and Scotland's warm. That's saying something. I haven't had an awful lot of chance to play a lot of EE Crush at the moment. My schedule has been crazy. And to be honest, this week I meant to do a lot more videos than I actually did. But the year's caught up on me finally. With all the different traveling and you know, getting COVID and then going straight into like summer season and everything. I think the year has finally caught up with me. Hang on, the cat's opening the door again. Stop being a cats, eh? Have today managed to get your spider team down to level 20 in 15 seconds. You mean level 20 in 15 seconds. Nice. Nice. Yeah, it's nothing against EE. I know the guys are playing a lot of EE and they're really enjoying it. It's just, I just don't have time. And I'm going to be starting this free-to-play series with alongside Hellhades in January. So that's going to make it even more difficult for me to find time to play another game like properly. So how can you share your link? I'll show you right now. Let me bring it up. Let's make sure the monitors are on the right display this time. There we go. So you come over to the optimizer over here. Anderson, and you hit this little share button at the top right. When you come up to here, you can create a new share link. You can call it whatever you want, have a description. You can choose to have it expire, or you can just leave it run forever. Create that link, and then you will generate like a URL. And then when you go to this URL, if I went to this on an incognito window, it would say you're looking at a shared account, and I'll be able to look at all the champions in that account, be able to look at all of that teams, see what arena teams are running, like that. So it's just the little share icon at the top right, then create a new share link. Well, I mean, it'll be a fun challenge, right, Danderby? I mean, between coding the optimizer, dealing with champion updates, running my own account, building strategies and guides, I mean, I don't know how we're going to do it. We'll figure a way. But what I'm really looking forward to is trying to get a better perspective for a newer player, because a lot of the times it's very easy for me to kind of have my own internal biases about like my account, right? I can basically put DPSs in and just do it kind of mentality. So it'll be good for me to kind of get a new perspective in terms of, you know, what's a new player dealing with these days without a max great haul, without all these different things. So it'd be interesting to see. I actually prefer these headphones, Brad. I don't like the wireless ones. They hurt my head. These don't. I'm a weird person. I like these Apple wired earphones. I don't like the AirPods Pro, but I like the normal AirPods. I can't have those in-ear ones. They're horrible. I don't like it. So yeah, when we were talking about the new free-to-play series for Hellhades, obviously he's done 2 of them now, and I said to him, like, just to make it a little bit more interesting for him more than anything, what if we did it as a duo or as a challenge, so that we can kind of like frame ourselves against each other, just to add a different context to it, because otherwise it can be quite samey a little bit, where you basically just do the same thing over again. Whereas obviously if other people are doing it, then we've got different content options in terms of like, you know, I'm going to pull shards, he didn't decide to pull shards. You know, we're going to do like different collabs in terms of like how we've dealt with different things. There's more opportunities for us to do different content on it and create more of a diversity from the previous free-to-plays, but still keep it a free-to-play, right? Otherwise, you're just doing the same thing over and over again. It'll get boring after a while. I was going to do a video today talking about... So, like... I know a lot of people have been playing EE with the new Christmas event, and they're saying it's obviously loads better than Plarium, than Raid. And I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, I feel like when you're in the news and you basically hear a lot of negativity, you start all kind of joining in, and I feel like that's a little bit what's happened with Plarium lately. That just because of a couple of people have been unhappy with a few things, and a few people have been unhappy with other things, everyone is now unhappy with everything that Plarium ever does. And we start seeing posts like, you know, oh, the news article doesn't say that it's going to be epic, so that must mean Plarium are doing another thing to hate on the players. And I'm like, well, it could just be a typo if we're being honest, you know. But it's a bit like that's kind of the mentality we've gone down lately. And I was going to do a video on saying I think we need to maybe take a bit of a breather and have a bit of a reality check in terms of what we're having and what we're dealing with. You know, people got to remember that most of the development team, from what my understanding, are still in Ukraine working. A country which is basically struggling to even keep the heating on right now. And we're sitting here complaining about the quality of a few events, or, you know, just trying to keep it. I don't really think the Christmas period that we've had over the last 3 weeks since Black Friday's ended has been particularly over the top. You know, if anything, it's been better, right? It's the first Christmas fusion where you've only had to do one summon event. I know it wasn't a champion chase, but it was one summon event. So to be fair, for a lot of us, we don't have to commit an awful lot of investment to get this fusion. And the fusion is pretty good, right? It can solo lots of content. It's probably the best Bommel champion. It's a solid champion with a lot less investment than normal. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like at the moment it's a little bit like all dive in and jump on top, and it's just getting a little bit too far. You know, people basically... I think it's because the Krakens for the first time are unhappy with something that doesn't make it easy for them to win the game, right? Ascension is not just a swipe the card to win the game. they have to go back and refarm to get some things, and it's all about RNG, and they don't like it. Whereas when it was empowerment and a bunch of other things that meant they could just empower their champions and all of a sudden they're powerful, we didn't hear half as much noise. So that's just kind of like my position on it. I think nothing is quite perfect. Would I preferred a proper event by Player? Yeah, I would have loved a different Christmas event, but I don't feel like we're getting any more greed out of Player at the moment. So, but I mean, people need to remember, like, the game for Raid is very much more free to play friendly than it has ever been before. You get a lot of free stuff, and you don't have to do everything. There's a mentality at the moment that everything has to be done by everyone, which is not the case. You can make choices. Is Hellhades my boss? Yes, Hellhades is my boss. So, in essence, along with Fiction. Yeah, I think there's a fair assessment, Jugs, to say that, you know, there's more variable rewards in the game now. So are we now having a situation where they've crept the points up and then put different reward structures in and we're not getting what we want? It's fair to say that we can criticize what we're getting out of these events and ask them to maybe adapt and adjust them. But, you know, the points requirements for the Epic was about the same as it's always been in the Summon Rush. I think the points requirements in the Champion Training is about the same that it's always been. What you get along the way may not be just as good, but it is not too bad. Yeah, we haven't seen any Christmas packs, but then again, like, people are saying the greed on Black Friday was really high. I mean, the volume of packs was really high, probably too much, I would argue. But actually, in terms of a typical Player offering, they were pretty good value packs for what they would normally offer, right? So when you look at if you were really contextualizing what we mean by greed, greed basically means that they're offering bad options in a situation where you have no choice. We didn't have to buy anything over Black Friday, but they were offering you good options to spend some money if you wanted to. And right now, they've basically said, well, there's a tournament coming up where you can get a champion. You don't have to do it. You're not missing out on anything if you do or don't get it. You know, you could pull that champion tomorrow, potentially. I know it's a Void Legend, it's unlikely, but there's no mandatory requirement. Whereas if they'd put that champion training as a requirement for the Fusion, then you could kind of argue, well, you're forcing me to buy shards because of different things, right? That's the difference for me. You know, and you've got to look as well. They do a lot for the community in terms of, like, you know, if you take part in the community events, you get free gems and different things. Content creators get the opportunity to give loads of stuff out to the communities. You get lots of free energy every day. We'll probably get a free, like, legendary book for Christmas and different things like that. So free-to-play players and people who don't spend money on the game do generate an awful lot of free resources. So no, do you know what, Matt? I got distracted by a bunch of other things. Then the Sand Devil came out, and then a bunch of other... So it's basically in my queue to work out the math. I was working out how Guardian worked with AoE more than anything else, and that is kind of complicated. So... But I do think as well, like, people are complaining about the guaranteed shard numbers going up. And I would be pretty confident in saying that is as a result of everyone no longer pulling shards on normal events. So they're probably looking at it going, the average player has 90 ancient shards or 90 void shards, or they've got like 20 or 30 sacreds. And they're going, well, people are waiting for a guaranteed. So either we stop offering guaranteed altogether, or we need to start, like, balancing the numbers. So... that's not necessarily a sort of you know, people should keep pulling shards. It's more they're reacting to how people are playing the game more, right? The game is always adaptive. Things are always dynamic. I don't think there's that many legendary champions lately that have been really terrible. Like, probably Aileel is up there. I think Fortis is okay now. I don't think he's so bad. The new champions they added are pretty good, like Marichka and all that. They're really strong. So yeah, we got a little Cortado decaf on the go. Part of my barista skills. Yeah, apart from that one void, like, it's not that the one void like this, it's not that this Tramaria isn't a good legendary, because, you know, if you look at this, you basically get a full cleanse on a 3-turn cooldown that fills 15%, and then if she's cleansed at any extra, you get another 10%, and then potentially 5, right? So if she basically clears a fear and 2 debuffs, you're getting 35% turn meter fill. It's pretty strong, right? You also have this ability to AoE stun everyone. You also have this ability where she is immune to sleep and obviously gets her own turn meter, and then you have an AoE decrease speed. She's not a bad legendary. She's just not a void legendary for me. But apart from this, that void tag, she's actually quite a good legendary to pick up, right? She'd be very useful. Do I think they'll buff Aileel? No, I think Aileel's terrible. That one did make me feel a bit like you being a bit cheeky here, because let's face it, you release a brand new faction, you make him look all pretty cool and everything, and then you go, okay, well, he ignore strength and stone skin, increase defense and ally protection. Great. Problem is he doesn't ignore shield or defense, whereas this dude happens to ignore everything. Much better. Whereas this dude over here doesn't even ignore block damage. You know? Doesn't ignore some effects. So it's cool that he gives himself stone skin and everything. He just doesn't hit hard enough. So yeah, he does look cool, to be fair. Is Constantine good, or better to stick with King Garog for Arena? So basically they're both good, Darth. The difference is Constantine's going to be better if you have more debuffs out, where King Garog is going to be better if you don't have any debuffs out. But you got to remember as well, Constantine is void, where King Garog is force, and force DPSs are not very good in Arena. So yeah, I get that, Ranesh. You are right, but at the same time, it's kind of like it's a bit of both, right? So if we hold all of our shards for guaranteed events because we get the guaranteed champion, then they're going to increase the cost of the guaranteed champion because you're hoarding too much. So it's like it's difficult to balance. But you are right, like, you know, they're good to give a guaranteed. Well, Jorgid, I mean, I'll pull some voids. I don't know if I'll go over the top. It depends, really. So guys, I pulled for Yumiko, right? I had like 3 void shards. So to be honest, I was like, you know what? I'll yoink some void shards, because if I get a Yumiko, it's pretty good, right? Guess what champion I got on a 10 times? I pulled 1 void shard. I got a Temesia, which is not a bad champion, but it's not Yumiko, is it? Like, come on. I was like, considering I don't have a Kaima or a Warlord, it's a big difference. So yeah, the Ukrainian duos are better, I think. Like, this dude is a monster. This Taras dude, where is he? He's a monster, right? He's not quite seer level monster, but these passives are insanely powerful. If you pull this champion early, if I'm on the free to play and I pull this champion, the game is won. This guy is so strong. We've got massive AoE clearing, we've got massive damage reduction, we've got massive effects on the bosses and enemies. He can place fear, he can stun. Like, he's just so good. And the thing with this champion is he doesn't need Marichka, right? Karato needs Yumiko to be really relevant. You've got Venus kind of needing Cupidus. This guy doesn't really need Marichka. He just benefits if she's in the team, right? Because he's going to use this ability. Like, he doesn't actually make Marichka do anything. It's just Marichka can do stuff with him. So he's quite insane. Very, very strong. Yeah, I'll probably use Temesia in Hydra or something. It's just, it's not Yumiko. I was like, ugh. So... right, so what's the plan for this evening? So we're still working on this Walking Tomb Dreng, and I've basically been trying to find a way for us to have Walking Tomb Dreng with food in the arena, in the Sand Devil. We need to farm for this Spirit Haste next, so that's still more masteries. The gems are getting depleted quite rapidly at the moment. But we're basically getting the last bit of masteries here. And then I'm going to be running a Crimson Helm with Walking Tomb Dreng with food at stage 25. That's the plan. I've tried different strategies and different variables. Now, we're going to go through it in detail. This is the video I was going to release on Tuesday and then on Wednesday, but never got round to it because I kept having problems. I made a mistake with one of the Crimson Helms, so I had to build a second Crimson Helm. Oh, it's a nightmare. What blessing for Elven Hydra? Probably you want to go Brimstone, because you can... Brimstone in Hydra is really good if you can guarantee you can go on the Suffering Head. So you'd use Brimstone on the Elva, and you would pick on the Suffering Head. Keep targeting the Suffering Head, basically. But yeah, Tumacia is good in Hydra. I'll probably use her in Hydra for that, right? But I was just like, oh, it could have been a Yumiko, and that is massively changing for me, because I can then build proper arena defenses. I'll explain now, Jessica. So, Marston, the thing with Fortis was... it wasn't working as intended, because effectively they intended it to do more damage, right? So... you're correct in saying that the coding was successfully fine, it was okay, but in order for them to have a proper, like they have a concept of what it should do, he wasn't doing enough damage to what they expected it, so it was not working as intended. So they changed the multiplier. Now my only bugbear with it is the multiplier doesn't do what the description says, because the multiplier isn't increasing it by 10%, it's increasing it by 2%. So I basically went to them, I said, either update the description to say 2%, or change the way it works so it is in line with the way that Solus works, because Solus will increase its damage by 10% by any debuff on a target, and they are coded completely differently. So neither of those options were acceptable to Plarium. I just got it's working as intended. I thought I was being quite reasonable by saying, look, it's not that I'm saying it's not working or it's bad. I'm saying the description doesn't match what it's doing. And that's, for me, a big bugbear in things. If you've got a system that one thing says one thing and the other thing is doing something completely different, it's not good for me. Talking about masteries, I'm doing the masteries for Bad L. If my buff bar is full and Bad L tries to put another continuous heal, the new ones get discarded, right? No, it just won't even place. Because you can't... So if it's an increased speed, it replaces the lower duration with the newer duration. I don't think it does the same thing with continuous heals. I think it's going to just not place it. It could replace the lower durations, but I don't think it does. So... but I actually quite like Fortis. So the reason why I like Fortis is there aren't actually that many champions in the game that can solo farm Nightmare on a very consistent and regular basis. Fortis can. He can solo dungeons. He is an option if you don't have Seer at the high end of Doom Tower. Over long periods of fights, if there is fear activatable in the fight, he's very good. You know, we don't know if they'll add a fear boss. They've added a sleep boss. We never thought sleep would be any relevance. So he could always be good in the future if they allow fear on certain bosses. The only downside is they didn't give him an alternative way of scaling damage outside of fear. If they change him to do that, he's actually a top tier champion. So I think people are a little bit harsh on Fortis. He's not the craziest champion in the world by any means, but he's decent. You build in the Bommel ally attack team for the new fusion. I pulled a 5-star soul for Longbeard. What blessing would you take to help that team? I wanted Brimstone, but Bommel doesn't get to go, really. I mean, Phantom Touch probably zoinks, because what's his face is Longbeard is attack based, right? So often with that team, it only fails if you have a few less bombs, right? So to get around that, you probably just need to run Phantom Touch because you get a bit of extra damage. You know, if you're not worried about Brimstone, there's not many other things you would run. Yeah, I don't know what it is, Christopher. I think it's just a case of I'm a little bit too detail-orientated for a creative role. Because I'll clearly state why things are working and why things aren't, I think that probably upsets them a little bit. But I know that they look at my video content for feedback and stuff, so as long as they... My opinion with it always is, as long as they're making a reasonable attempt to try and get it accurate, I'll not be too unhappy, right? I wasn't too unhappy about the Nogdar issue because, to be fair, it's one of those one champion can do it out of 700. They found it, they fixed it, it wasn't a major problem. It was just a bit of an oversight. That can happen, but the Doom Tower thing really frustrated me because I was like, it's clearly not ready to be released and it should have been yoinked from the actual release plan and waited another week. Do you notice that Elva, after cleansing with her A2, first puts on speed, then block buffs, it kind of self-counters against Torment? There are some champions like that. It's basically the way that they structured it in the code, right? Which buff goes on which. So, unfortunately, there was actually a long time ago that a lot of the abilities that placed block debuffs or cleanse with block debuffs would basically would cause the refreeze. And they moved a bunch of them. So that's probably just an oversight. They should probably go and fix it. Yeah, it's Deco, but they could do some clever things. Like they could make it so that the fear doesn't stop them from taking a turn. It just maybe weakens them. Or it basically the fear disables a passive or something. You know, the fear effect doesn't have to do anything, but the fear could be activatable on a boss, right? You're clearing out your accessories just now. Do you want me to do a... Don't wind me up like that. I do need to do another gear cleanse, though. We're out of silver again. I was up to like 10 million silver this morning. And then obviously I had to do a gear cleanse and sell stuff and things, so... Do you think it's possible to fit Elder Skarg into my Hellcath and Killball team? Probably not. The thing about Elder Skarg is he doesn't bring any debuffs, right? The only reason why he works in the Mythwatcher team is that he doesn't need to bring debuffs. So potentially no. Exactly. That's a very good way of saying it. It's when it's like lazy coding versus an honest mistake. That's when I get really frustrated because I'm like, you're just not taking enough time and care and attention. Especially if it results in a negative experience. Answer the question, please. What's the question? Did you send me a question? Why are everyone crazy about Arena? I hate Arena. I'm not crazy about Arena. Am I crazy about Arena? I quite enjoy 3v3 from time to time. I wouldn't say I enjoy it every time, but then that's fine, right? It's healthy to enjoy Arena, not enjoy Arena at time to time. For many endgame players, Arena is the only place where there's ever a challenge, right? Because I've one-keyed clan boss, I complete every Doom Tower wave, I complete every boss. I've got all the different dungeons down on a decent farm. So when it comes to Arena, it's the only place that really challenges me to think outside the box. But it depends on where you are in the game, right? It's not for everyone. But from a tune, yeah, it's doable from a tuning. As long as the increased speed doesn't cause him to outrun people, it should be okay. But generally, the problem with increased speed is more it falls off than it stays on. Without seeing your full team, I wouldn't be able to tell you with 100%, but it's possible if you're not worried about the debuffs. Oh, I don't know, Stiko. I would say a lot of people use bombs on Bommel. A lot of people do. Hex I use in Arena. I use Hex on Hydra all the time. And Sleep in Sand Devil. Well, to be fair, we do use the sleep. They've just made it so either you can bring the sleep or the boss can do it himself. They've given you the option there, so I don't think that's a negative on that. So actually, I think those 3 things they have managed to achieve, I would say. People are using bombs. Even before the fusion came out, people were using bombs in Bommel. The only downside to it was you needed certain bomb champions. Like when Gaius came out, that obviously made a big difference. Yeah, I mean, I love pushing clan boss, right? So a lot of people have asked me why bother with this when you've already got a 1 key, and I'm like, for me, pushing clan boss to the next level and trying to find different ways of using different champions. That's why I have a lot of fun with. So, you know, ultimately, I think if people aren't enjoying the game anymore, then that's more about just maybe their life cycle of the game. Maybe they've got bored of it. I don't think all the time you can criticize the game because you're not having fun in it anymore, right? Either you find your own fun or you stop playing for a bit, you know, take a break, right? Or you try and find a bit more of a balance. It's quite easy to spend your entire life playing Raid because of how much content you can do in there, and sometimes that can just get a bit frustrating. No, Marcin. I literally think they realized that he was totally useless for Arena where he was meant to be used, and they changed it so that he had some relevancy in Arena. But they didn't quite get the accuracy of it right. Like, he hits reasonably hard now, right? You know, I can probably take him into Arena, right? Watch this. Oops. Let's find a person here, right? So, let's find this team, okay? Now, you could argue that you could do this with everyone, right? So all we need to do is bring a fair champion. How much accuracy have we got on dear old Marshall Leads? Not an awful lot. See if we can pump up his accuracy a little bit. No, actually, we don't need to. Because we can use... We need a buff remover potentially. Well, we're going to trust that they don't have anything useful, and we're just going to bring Liss. And then we're going to bring Fortis, right? So Fortis here. Void Legendary, so we don't have to worry about affinity. Right? Yoshi would be a good option here. Yeah, Kaimar, Sify, Salad, Yoshi, and also thing, right? So we've got 273%, 4.7k defense in Savage. I think he's in Savage Cruel, right? No increased defense here, so that's a problem. In one of HH vids, you mentioned that Geo's passive works with block damage. I made an unkillable clan boss team with Geo using block damage. It seems that you only got War Master procs. Did they change it? No, it should be fine. You have to, Sluggish, make sure you're not bringing anyone else with a burn. It has to be his burn only on the target. If there are any other burns on the target, it's not going to work. So what we can use with Morrigan is we can use this ability here. I don't think she's like... Activate pool. That was no decreased defense and no fear. And no increased defense, right? Now, I don't know how strong this team is. I can't argue. But these are going to be tanky teams. We could try something like... a go second style team, right? So we basically put in a Kyoku. Where is she? What affinity is Kyoku? I think she's ascended. Anyone spot a Kyoku? Ever since they've moved all the ascendancies around, I can never find her anymore. Spirit. Here she is. Gee, I'm going blind in my old age. So we're going to go Kyoku, and then we're just going to throw in a Brogni for a bolster. And they haven't got any sort of buff strip. The petrification is a problem. So we probably need to bring in a Riho Bone Spear, right? We don't need to bring a Riho. It could be anyone. It could be Elva even. It depends whether this is going to be a nuke champion or not. Elva's pretty squishy at the moment, I think. I don't know how squishy I've got her. Like, reasonably squishy. But we could bring in like an Elva as well, right? Ah, well, I didn't really think about Tiamisia's stun there. Eventually, I'm going to get a turn. There we go. Full cleanse. Put the shield back up. And then we're just going to work our way through it. Gets a veil. Doesn't really matter. We haven't got the defense buff up anymore. Wait, did I not click the right button then? I think it lagged out. Oh, we're stunned again. Oh, we've got a Hex again. Isn't that wonderful? Full cleanse. That's why I think Alva's really crazy for Arena as well. Okay, Swift Parry. For some reason in my head, I thought I was going to have a Fear. I forgot. I must have not brought another Fear champion in here. I was thinking about someone else on a passive. There we go. Got increased defense. I mean, he just absolutely annihilated that Hegemon then. Now, you could say, well, any defense-based nuke can do this. Absolutely, you could. But it's not like he's not beating, you know, some decent champions here. We're just never going to place the Fear now. Yeah, Alva sets up Candy, for sure. So what you basically need to have is a decent Fear champion, right? So there are some decent ones. His damage is fine. This was not a good example to show off his damage, but it, you know, we tanked it all. The other good thing about him is Warlord won't be able to put it on cooldown. So you've got some lockup potential, right? So this team here, we kind of need a Fear. I'm sure there's someone that does a Fear passively when attacked. So this dude. No. It's probably Marshall Laird. You know, you could use a Nobel, right? Got a Fear. Whenever an enemy's turn is fully depleted, has a chance to apply Fear. I saw such a crazy team with Nobel, where they basically used Calvalax into Gerda, into Nobel, into a nuke. Actually, beautifully designed team. Really impressive. I don't have a Calvalax, though. I'm sure there was a champion I was going to think of that could do Fear, and I can't remember what it was. Off the top of my head. This dude could do it. The only problem with this dude is you kind of need low HP, otherwise he's never the one that gets targeted. Like he's always going to get targeted here. So you could put Elva in to protect him, and then you kind of want these two champions to be lower HP. Like that would be okay. He will get targeted over. there. So if you can like be able to tank it with a with this dude with Elva, which I don't know if we're going to be able to find out. No, I'd keep at least one Nobel. I think he's quite good. Yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen, but we don't have any abilities, so that's the problem here. Do you see how Brimstone placed on a block debuffs then? Crazy, right? Hi, Kim. But, you know, this is the concept. It's not a very good test. If we just provoke you. It's not really going to help, but we'll try that. Oh, nearly. Yeah. But you can see what I mean about the stall defense, right? The idea is if we had a better way to survive, like a bolster or something there to actually just keep us alive, that team would be counterable with this sort of setup. They just have a little bit too much upfront damage. You know, like this would be super easy to solve because you just put in a Vogoth. Does Herndig's passive activate with block damage active? I think so. Haha, yeah, we won the me versus YST versus standoff. Just provoke that. In clan versus clan this week. Yeah, let me just bring the champion I don't own. Great idea. Really? We're gonna go again? Can you kill this team though? That's the question, Blender. Can you blend this out or are you gonna die? Let's try and... We need to kill a Reviver. Oh, we resisted. Oh well. Apparently they can. Now if Mortu's passive actually... If Skullward's passive actually increased, it would be so much better, but it doesn't. But yeah, I think he's solid, right? I mean, you can put him in a lead, you can put him as a go second. If you can tank it, right? So like this is fine if we can tank the hit. So you can basically go... Brogni probably for a bolster. Can put that in here as well, so you get a backup revive. Yeah, hidden skills and passive skills can't. Big hit. Oh. He's dead again. Oh, we got a turn finally. We got the fear off, which means We almost kill everyone. Almost. Ow. Oh, we got unlocked the skill. He's not going to revive those, is he? I don't even think Kyoku's built, though, mind. Power of Candifon, though, right? Pretty strong. But, you know, that's a few examples of how you can use him. I use him, though, purely as, right now, more than anything else, this. We need to do one of you. I need to use Adam. I'm probably going to use him go second. I was going to build it for Bommel. I forgot to change the DPS champion. To change it. Silly thing. Wow, that was a cool little animation. You know, this is Nightmare campaign. Going through. Never going to die. Even if he has a risk of dying, he has a passive to protect him. Why would you farm Nightmare? Because you save time. Better to farm 16 to save time. You get more. As long as you can do it within, like, a decent amount of time. This one's running a bit slow because the food is taking a turn. But normally, if the food doesn't take a turn, I can get this down at, like, below 20 seconds. So, that's kind of what I use him for. Mr. Ingham, thanks for the tools. Are you going for Georgia? Merry Christmas. Am I going for George? I don't know if I'm going to go that hard for him. Show the cat. She's run out of the room already. She's gone. She's run away. So, am I going for Jorgen? I call him the Nutcracker. I can't say his name. Honestly, he hits really hard, but he wouldn't change the game for me. Like, my Baron hits him not hard enough. I don't really think I need him. But if there's some decent Void packs, I might pick it up. Just to see if I can get a Void Legendary. I'd love one of the blimming decent Void Legendaries. Just give me a Yumiko, a Warlord, a Necret. Heck, I'd take a Hegemon at this point. He's not even meta, but I would take a meta champion, please. It's getting painful how few meta champions I have in my account. Yeah, I don't think he's, like, that change. Like, you basically trade in consistency with a Baron A4 versus someone who might have a little bit more, like, repeatable. I'd love to try and get him just to try that in Clan Boss. I'd love to just run in with an A1 in Clan Boss to see how hard I can get this A1 to hit. That would be fun. But how expensive do I think Tormin will be? I don't think many people will go for Tormin. I don't have Tormin. I'm not going for Tormin. Even if I could whale, I wouldn't go for Tormin. He is so far out of the meta, he's not relevant. Have I done any testing on King Gal Kobar? No, I haven't. I don't have him. I have Ruark. But I think he's quite interesting because you can kind of make him, with his passive, you can force him into a poison activator. So you could do some kind of cool things, but I need him to test him because he's very complicated. Does A1 work with ally attack? Yeah, it does. It's a repeat attack, I'm Ghosty, right? So it's very similar to this dude. The way it's coded is similar to this. There's a chance of placing an extra hit. This is a repeat attack. So it has a 25% chance constantly to repeat. So it can hit 4 times, 3 times, 2 times, 1 times, 5 times. It can go as many times as you want. So yeah. Well, isn't it formation? Isn't it going to be the leader? Like, it's not going to be on the sidebar, is it? Or have I misunderstood? If it's on the sidebar, I'll try and go for it. If it's, I thought it was the win. Let me have a look. Right, what does it say? Where does it say? Where is the announcement? Cat, why did you make an appearance again and decide to trash the room? Honestly. Fight hard and claim first place on the leaderboard. Yeah, you have to win the tournament. So yeah, it's not going to be 10,000 points. You're going to have to win. Cat, stop it. Yeah, you're going to have to win it. So Ragash is actually in the meta for the arena a little bit. I've seen a lot of people use Ragash in high-end, it's not necessarily maybe like super high-end plat, but in platinum he does make an appearance. Ragash is very good. Well, to be first formation, if it's a free champion, you're going to need probably like 20 to 30,000, unless you're in a very lucky group. I've seen ×2 voids. Remember, it's a ×2 void event. This is the event where most Krakens pull all their shards. And I know that some people in our communities, it's like some people are sitting on like 400 to 500 void shards. They keep offering, I'll show you the pack they keep offering all the time at the moment, that anytime it pops up, Krakens are buying. But yeah, Ragash is really good because he places the decreased defense before he attacks, or it's a stun, one of the two. I always mix the two up. He's Spirit Affinity, so he's a good DPS. He's defense-based. He provides his own defense buff, and he also has that A3 as well, which is quite nifty. So Ragash here, like I use him in a lot of different places. His raw damage output is so good. Tony the Tiger. Yeah, 47 for 24. That's the one, Max Nutter. They offer it, like I had mine. I had one yesterday. I let it expire. I came back into the shop today. It's back. They keep pumping this out. All the time. Never buying that. Never buying that either. Or buying that. Or buying that. I think it's a pretty bad deal as well. I wouldn't buy that. But yeah, anytime Krakens... So it doesn't go out to everyone, Christopher. But I get this pack almost every other day. So, and it is the best value void for money. Like, it's about £2 per void. It's the best value exchange you'll find. Probably. The only one that beats it probably is the void string pack if you buy the entire string, which is obviously a big investment. But this is a pretty one. And what you're going to find is all the Krakens and people who play seriously at the end game will buy this pack when it pops up because Void Legendaries is where it's all at the moment. So... Right, one more run and we can finally be done with this Masteries. Do you have him in Savage Lethal? I can't remember. I'll have a look now. We'll have a look what I've got him in. I really wish I could have booked Dreng's A2. I've got it like 2 out of 5. I need it to be like 3. In an ideal world, guys, if you haven't booked the Dreng's A2 cooldown, don't book the cooldown. Otherwise, it's going to make your... It depends. If you're running the Aneri team, it's pretty good to book it. It's not a problem. But if you're not, which is the team we're going to be testing in a second, you don't want to book it. I don't think Blessings and Gear Ascension are pushing Plat into Gold. I disagree. I don't think Blessings have that much of an impact outside of top-end Plat, and I don't think Artifact Ascension stats are going to have that much of an impact outside of Platinum either. You're not going to see a massive divergence. Like, if I look in Arena right now, you know, I'm in the middle of Gold 5. Like, I've seen a few Blessings, but I'll be honest, right? This, I can pile drive this. I can do a 2022 move with this guy. Even with the Rotus here. Pile drived. You know, yeah, I do have a 5-star Baron, it's fine, you know, I'll admit that, but, you know, he's not like he's crazy built. He's 6.7k attack, 288% crit damage. In lethal, I think. In lethal cruel. He's strong, but he's not like SS tier. He's not like the top tier. So I don't see how the new changes are going to affect gold at all. This is just like standard 2020 meta speed team into nuke. You know, I could even run this, right? I've been running this variant of this team sometimes, which is very good. Basically boost into boost. We've got a skull crown. She can't do anything. We're going to take away their ability. Trust in the 3%, the one person I need that on. It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, pretty much an average Plat Baron is going to be 300% crit damage, 9k attack. In sort of the top end of Plat, like the top 150. So my Baron is not like nowhere near that quality. There you go. That's more of an example of a top platinum Baron. Can we just kill? Thank you. Baron, go. Boom. Everyone dies. That's really like... So I could easily... Okay, right. So basically, I could easily beat any of these teams if I just run a go second team, right? We lost to this team earlier because I was trying something. I can literally just do this. I can do... This. Where is it? Where is he gone? Find him eventually. This. Then we need something to kill them. Brogni shield. And then probably just like a candy, I guess. Right, none of these are crazy build. They just built one stone skin, bolster. Watch how little this does. Now I can take a turn, which I can just go boop. And you're thinking, oh, well, you've got Candrathon. I could put any DPS in this slot. They're never going to kill me. I could just run 4 tanks. They'll never kill me. Go second teams are equally, if not stronger, than go first teams. So the speed meta is gone. So that's why when people are saying, oh my god, speed boots on speed, it's crazy, how are we going to keep it? It doesn't matter. Because where you need it, it's only going to help you in PvE. And in PvP, it's not relevant anymore. Because I've heard that top-end whale players are basically going into their Guardian Ring and going, I want to take out my 10 out of 10 high elves. I don't want the speed. Because they want the buffs to run out. That's the problem. They want the buffs to go. So yeah. Yeah, and I also think, Mindigus, the actual champions that we've got in Go Second options now is much more wide, right? There's many different... It used to be back in the day, it was like Vogoth, right? To try and deal with things. But now you've got like bolster sets. You can run Defiant sets. You can run good champions that can do Go Second mechanics. You've got people like Ronda and Romantu who can lock people out. You've got people who, like Candy, can do take damage. You've got Cupidus who can react with counterattack. You've got more variability in Go Second options than you've ever had before, which I think is good. Right, so we need Spirit Haste, and now we need to slow him right down, because he's way too fast right now. So we need to carve a speed out of him somewhere. I can't remember what it was. I think it was... You had too much speed, right? Guardian. So what we need to do is we need to get him, oops, to about 253. So we need to lose 24 speed. So it could be the helm we need to take off. probably too much. $24, that's too much. 29. So we need like one singular speed roll. But not two. And then preferably tanky stats. I'm sure it was the helm we were replacing. That's too much. That's too much. Well, that would lose me 20. We don't need accuracy. Could have been that one. I'm trying to remember what piece I swapped out for it. Feels like it's that one. Or I could basically take 17 speed out here and not have speed at all. That would be better as well. Like speed defense percentage on a shield. That one. Let's go with that. That'll do. Right, I lost my screen here. Boss is paid away. Yeah, Harem is another good second option. Right, so we can drop speed because essentially we don't need to be super fast, but we can probably drop even more speed than we've also got here. We just need to be, what are we at? 236 plus 24 will put us at 260. We're a little bit too fast still, so maybe we can save some speed. By losing 10 speed here, that would put us at 226 plus 24. That'll be about 250. That would be perfect. So we just want HP percentage, ideally in Stone Skin. Well, that would be nice. Get resistance. Can't really get anything better. It would have been nice if it was more HP driven. Watch it roll speed now when I take it up with my 0 some silver. Forever out of silver at the moment. Come on. There we go. Okay, attack percentage is not the end of the world. So, he's not fully leveled out yet. 226, that's fine. This is really frustrating. He's not going to be 100%, which is going to probably cause us to fail a few times because the books have just not gone where I want them to go. I need the books here. I don't really want to book this cooldown. I want to keep the cooldown off. So, yes. Artifact enhancement, cool. Yeah, I picked up the spirit pots. We're getting there. Champion training. I'm not doing the champion training, so don't worry. I've got the epic. So the test bed now is we are going to use a crimson helm because in our Fantabuloso spreadsheet that I've been working on, I've been working on a way to run a revive on death team using crimson helm instead of an Eerie. And then allowing us to run food alongside our walking tomb drang. So the idea here is she's going to revive. I don't know how the 24 speed is going to affect us when we're in this first 2 stages. The boss will then eventually kill our allies. And then we are going to, hopefully, survive. So I've got Walking Tomb Dreng in Guardian with Bulwark to try and help keep the Crimson Helm alive. The biggest problem with Crimson Helm is she has to really run at 271 speed minimum, and she has a base speed of 85, which is obnoxiously low. It's been really difficult to build her. You can use Mother Sibel, but I wanted to try and find a team that, in case people had booked Mother Sibel for Hydra or whatever reason, this ability here has to be on a 5-turn cooldown for it to work. If it's on anything else, less, it won't work. It has to be on a 5-turn cooldown. The mistake that I made is I booked one to 4-turn cooldown. So I had to basically make another Crimson Helm, so now I have 2 Crimson Helms to make this work. That needs to be on a 5-turn cooldown. We're running regen with her, but I've had to drop like a Defiant and a Guardian and a regen set because I just don't have the gear. You know, I'm basically using triple roll here alongside a triple roll alongside a triple roll. So trying to get 271 speed is brutal, but it can be done, right? It's like the reason why this is brutal for me is I don't have the glyphs, so I'm having to sacrifice space, right? If you look here, I've not glyphed this. I've barely glyphed that. I've not glyphed I actually don't have... I've not glyphed this that high. I did get lucky with the boots. I was able to get the Ascension. This is where Ascension is going to help you with builds. Doesn't break the game. It's going to help you. And then obviously this hasn't been glyphed at all. That hasn't been... Well, that has been glyphed and the banner's not. So that's the problem. I could probably save myself about one of these triple rolls if I could glyph, but I've run out. We've got pretty good amulet here. We've got HP with defense substats. Couldn't get much better. Defense. She's going to be pretty rocking. She's already at 4.7k defense, 33k HP at level 26. Masteries wise, I've got some basic ones, but I would want to get the 3000 HP long term. I want to see if it's going to work without, but these are the basic ones you need. Can't take Cycle of Magic. So we're going to try and just boost this level here. Where is she? I'm running out of brews again, so we're going to use some off brews. Try and get up to like that. That's going to cost me 500,000 silver to use 72 brews. Honestly. I mean, this is a problem with doing content, right? There's a reason why content creators get perks, because the amount of resources I'm using to test things, I have to use my own. I'm like every other player, right? I'm not getting any benefits from this. Yeah, I could do Forge. I need to do Spider anyway, because I haven't done the tournament yet, so... Yeah, I've got 2 Crimson Helms now. Don't know if I'll ever use Crimson Helms. Sibilla needs to be on a 5-turn cooldown for her Revive on Death, Johnny. Yeah, there's probably a way to make it work on 4 potentially, but if you can't, the problem is, right, so let me just show you this rotation here while this does a few more runs. Let's just get it to do like 5 runs here. So the problem with the thing, right? So if it's a 4-turn cooldown, because it's Revive on Death, it's not a Godseeker passive, it's Revive on Death, you're going to have to go before the Sand Devil. So you have to beat the speed of the Sand Devil, which is 271. So Revive on Death goes on here, right? So if it's a 4-turn cooldown, it's going to go 3-turn, 2-turn, 1-turn, and then we're going to use the Revive on Death here, but she's going to take another turn here. So what's going to happen is in the next rotation, she's going to do the Revive on Death here, which is going to run out by the time that your Reviver gets back round, and she's not going to have the buff anymore. Whereas if it's a 5-turn cooldown, she's going to go 4, 3, 2, 1, Revive on Death, repeat. So it's on the right ratio. It's 1-to-1, whereas the other one is catching up too much. So 5 turns required. Now, if there was a way that you could somehow make it so that the Reviver could go after the Sand Devil, you could run her at a 4-to-1 ratio instead. Or if you try to have some sort of reduced cooldown. But what I was trying to avoid is building a proper team. What I wanted to build here was actually just a duo that was allowing you to use food that didn't have... You didn't need to pull a full team for, right? So we're going to put 3 champions in that are just going to be food for us, fodder. We're going to use Spirit Haste, and we're going to see if we can make this work. It depends if we can keep them alive. which would be the challenge. So I've got an EHP assessment here. The nice thing about Crimson Helm is she is strong affinity, but look how scary it's going to get. It depends on how much HP we lose, right? So at 45,476, if we lose 30% of our max HP, even at 6,000 defense, it's going to get really tasty. It's going to get close. She might not live, even with Guardian and Bulwark and everything else going on. So that's what we're going to test to see whether these builds can do it. Now, the advantage is I'm not factoring in weak hits there, so there's a chance that we can mitigate some of the damage with weak hits. Also, there's a minus 20% damage. That will come into effect as well. Right. Got 500,000 silver. I got 1,000,000 silver. We're going to use half of it right away. Try and get test server. They won't let me have that. The moment I put my face to anything, they'll know who I am. So, right. So we need the Crimson Helm. Use like 76. It's fine. So 52. So she's not fully leveled yet. We've still got some masteries to go, but 5.7k defense, 40,000 HP. It's pretty good. So, right, let's try this. So the idea is we would run a team. Let's get rid of that because we don't need to do that for Dragon anymore. It would be Crimson Helm with Walking Tomb Drang and then 3 food, right? Could be anyone. Oops. Let's just stick in 3 of these. Now, obviously, you know, the auto swapping isn't right. We don't want to use Vile Tongue, okay? We don't want to use this. Yeah, I've numbered the correct one 1. I learned my mistake from that one. We do not want to use this because the reason why Light Sworn doesn't work is his triple hit will wake the boss up. We still don't want to wake the boss, and don't ever use that. That's the tip. We want to always use this when it's up. Walking Tomb Drang, we're not going to equalize HP. We're just going to always use this ability. He isn't 100% still, so that could fail. These guys, they just need to die, basically. I don't really care what they do. Crimson Helm has the better aura, believe it or not. So we get 33% more HP, which is great. That's going to help us keep us alive. It's going to help us heal. So, let's see how this works. First time test. So, naturally, we should go on guard. Everyone dies. Everyone revives. Now, she's going to A1. Walk into... See, this is what's important, right? We don't want to wake the boss up at all. If we had Light Sworn here, he would wake the boss up, which is why we can't use Light Sworn. Activate. These guys can now take a turn. They can do whatever they want. And now what we're doing is we're just waiting for the next rotation. The good news is Spirit Haste is kicked in. So what'll be interesting to see now is Revive on Death. Everyone comes back alive. Heal. Burn. This is why him staying on a 4-turn cooldown is also important, right? Because if he's not on a 4-turn cooldown, he's going to lap his own burns. So you're going to have problems with him. So ideally you don't want to book Drang's A2. But actually, Crimson Helm is surviving a lot better than I thought. Drang is struggling a little bit. Like, Drang is struggling quite a lot. He's taking too much damage, so we might have to drop Guardian for regen. I thought Crimson Helm would die a lot more. And we've fallen out of sync here. Somehow. Something happened for us to fall out of sync. So is it because... maybe it's because... he's running too fast, maybe. Let's have a look at that again. Let's waste more energy because, you know. So she's running at 271. Great. He's running at 226. but gets 24, so it should be at 250 speed. Yeah, that's the problem with the healing. We're losing the max HP. So it should be fine. I don't know why he fell out of rotation here, because it should be... Let me just check I've got the decreased speed on at the right point here. A2, A1. No, we haven't. That helps if I do that. Yes. It's not always going to be on. They're dead, so no more decreased speeds. And it's not always going to be on either, because obviously we could weak it, but we just need to make sure that we assume that it is going to be on. Okay, so it should work. A3 into A1 into A2 into A1 into A1 into A1 into A1 into right, so it's going to go A3, A1, 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 A3. A1. Yeah, it could be that. It could be that we need to just try and find the right balance in with his mastery, basically. It could be that we just need to have more or less speed. Right, so basically Crimson Hellhades go A3, A1, 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 A3. DPS should go A2 into A1, and then A1, A1 into A1, and then A2. So we're going to revive here. Revive is going to go A1 here. DPS does A2, A1. And then Reviver should go A1, A1, A1. So is it 4, 3, 2, 1 into here. Got too many sleep-ins here, but that's just because of the way the rotations worked. So maybe 250 is too fast. Maybe we need to go 253. Does that make a difference? Maybe we need to go faster. I will do when it's correct, Carlos. At the moment, it's not correct. It's not usable right now. It's kind of too technical. I'm trying to determine if I need to go faster or slower. I feel like I need to go slower. Let's try him at 230. Where is he? So at the moment he's 250 because he's 226 plus 24. So we want to drop 20 speed from somewhere. I mean, the weapon looks like a good shout. 17 speed. Well, we need to lose more than 17 speed. We need to lose actually 20 speed. $16, $17, $18. You have to take it out of the helm, I think. 18, 18, 17, 18, 15, 25, 20. We could try that. We'll lose a bit of defense, but it's okay. Let's try this. So he should be now at 206 speed. Let's have a look, see if this works. Changes his ratio a little bit. Nuke. Everyone revives. Burn. Burn. Right, is this going to work? Obviously, the only downside with going slow is he gets less healing, which could be a problem, right? So we're in rotation right now. It's not healing an awful lot, which is a bit of a problem, because obviously he's not going that super fast. But he is recovering. Crimson Helm's lost a lot more max HP this time. On guard. Okay, this seems to be better rotation. We just need to see if it's a sleep debuff issue. But he is taking a bit of a pounding, I have to say. I'm not sure he can survive for much longer. Because he is not recovering anywhere near as much max HP. So effectively, we've taken him out of a turn. Yeah, he's fallen out of rotation again. I mean, we're in the speed turn rotation. It's just that his skills are out of rotation. This is probably where you'd need A3 booked. Yeah, it's basically his skills are out of rotation. The problem is he's just not healing enough. He's losing too much max HP. Which is the downside. And now we're out of rotation completely. Well, the good news is Crimson Helm is not dying. The bad news is Dreng's dying. Right, so he's got speed debuff. Yeah, so basically, I think it's a case of if she doesn't get speed debuff, she's too quick. I think that's the problem. If she doesn't get the speed debuff, she's too quick. He's holding on because we've got 2 turns here and he's dead now. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. V8. 248. Because I'd imagine what's happening is if she doesn't get the speed debuff here, she jumps ahead of a turn, which is a bit of a problem. The problem is we can't really run her any slower either. It's just got what we're gonna have to deal with. That it could happen. Because if you run it slow, she doesn't put the revive on death in the first turn. 248, I think that's fine. I'll try and run it without food, see what happens. This is why I haven't done the video yet for this, because it's taken me so long to test it. I'm talking about Crimson Helm Duchy. Yeah, I might try the I might try bring the equalization back. I had problems with it. I struggled with it when I had it on, so yeah, he's too fast now. I'm not sure why he's too fast. He's actually dying as well. He's one turn too fast. I basically need to... There we go. It's not working with Guardian and Bulwark. It's a bit too much damage he's taking. It's so difficult to speed tune this. It really is, like, as a duo. Like, obviously he's not full build, right? He's not at max. But he's pretty tanky. Just thinking what we can do to improve this. It's the speed rotation is with the weak hitting on the Crimson Helm. If Crimson Helm gets weak hit, she jumps a turn. So she's going before, but it's fine for the revive on death perspective. It is it's okay. I don't know why he jumped ahead though, I have to say. Let's try this. Just leave him do that. See what happens. The problem is I lose, if I do that, I lose one of the burns because he doesn't use his A1 if I turn his A3 on. But we'll see how we'll see how it progresses. So I don't know why he's doing it there. Yeah, have I given him cycle? Oh, I've given him Cycle of Magic. I'm an idiot. That's why it's not. That's why it's doing that, because I've given him Cycle of Magic, so he's getting the cycle proc. Let's just see if the HP balance helps here at all. I think I'm gonna have to remaster him and get rid of Bulwark. It's too much damage. Yeah, we're just out of sync completely. Oh yeah, that E2 does, right. Yeah, that's another thing. I don't know. It just doesn't seem to work very well. I was hoping Crimson Helm would be a a different option. But that's why I haven't done the video on it, because I'm still struggling to get the right balance. I feel like the speed tune is not correct on it. The weak hitting is a real problem, to be honest, because it's not slowing her down and it's causing her to go too fast. That's why I don't like revive on death teams, to be honest, right? This team just seems to be so much more stable. Because you don't have to worry about booking, you don't have to worry about anything. He burns, didn't land the burn because we're not booked. But Aniri's passive of 10% extra incoming healing is a big deal here. And Aniri's more likely to get that decreased speed because she can't get weak hit, so it's always going to go on, pretty much, apart from a 3%. But you can see like the difference in the healing. We're not struggling at all. We can support Guardian. And the nice thing with this team, obviously, is Guardian will help keep Aniri alive on 25 to try and mitigate the EHP requirements for Aniri. It's not even her A1 healing, it's the 10% passive heal she gets. So basically his Guardian is 10% more effective, which is making a big deal. Plus she has that big A2 heal. Now this team is pretty good. The only downside is because I haven't got his A2 booked, one, it's taking really long, and two, the longer it takes, the more likely it's going to fail because he could just get some bad luck. There you go, we're pretty much fully back up now. See, so this is what I mean with his max HP. He does lose a bit of max HP here, because obviously he's taking a lot of damage from Bulwark, from Guardian. But if I have reliable, consistent HP burns going out, this is a lot less problematic. The issue will be, which you'll see now, probably in this next run, he's not going to burn because he's got a 75% chance only. There we go. So because we haven't burnt here, we've now got an entire 30 seconds. So we're essentially extending the fight, which is extending the risk of failure. Yeah, the A1 is not insignificant, don't get me wrong. But the 10% extra healing passive is crazy strong. Especially when she does that A2 there. So with Guardian, it means Aniri can never lose. You know, she fully restores as a max HP, essentially. She keeps it up all the time. So the Guardian is good here because it's quite a difficult build to get Aniri up to where you need her to be, to try and keep her alive. But I know the mothers, I know like the Crimson Helm team can work. I just might need to spend a lot more time behind closed doors, basically trying to figure out the right speed ratios to get it to balance correctly with the right masteries. The nice thing about Aniri as well, when she revives, she fully resets those skill cooldowns, so you don't have to worry about making sure you've got the right skill cooldown duration. But as you can see, like, not having him booked is just making this take so long. He'd be nearly dead by now if I had him booked. But we didn't have enough legendary books, unfortunately. But yeah, this is a decent team. It's just not... It's nowhere near as fast as Ninja, is it? Let's face it. And you can see now his max HP is starting to get destroyed a little bit because the fight is going on longer than it needs to. So the Guardian eventually is going to become a problem. Unfortunately, with an Aniri, though, you can't run food because she'll revive the food champions, and that's just a problem. For this team, with an Aniri, it doesn't matter. But for that Crimson Helm setup, it was 4 turns. But I could probably get it to work on 3 turns, maybe. Does Cardiel work instead of Godseeker and Neri? No. Not really, in my opinion, because Cardiel's gonna... The key thing that this team needs, this setup, you can't wake the boss up. If you wake the boss up, you're in trouble. The goal is you don't wake the boss up at all. The boss wakes itself up like now. So we never actually hit him more than 5 times. The boss allows himself to wake up, which is the key thing here. But we missed like 3 HP burn windows, which is a big problem. No, the same problem. I think the only one that can really do it is Mother Sibel or Crimson Helm, because they only have single attack A1s. There's no other additional attacks coming from anyone. Yeah, you can't wait. So what I mean by waking the boss up, I mean the slumber counter to Marino. So what I mean is we never hit it 5 times to activate the slumber counter, which instantly cleanses the sleep and then fills the turn meter. We don't want to do that. That's the key thing with this team. You never want to have that situation happen. Sky-Touch Shaman is going to kill herself. That's the problem with her. Her passive is a problem. Alright, well, we should be done now. But you can see this team, pretty stable. It's just slow because Drang isn't booked. So the burn is not consistent. But if the burn is consistent, Aniri's not really at risk of dying here. But this actually works with Drang in, Drang's in Guardian here. Not Guardian Defiant, just Guardian. So 6 minute 46. We missed like 3 HP burn windows. So hopefully that'll improve. But hey, there's another like 300 gems wasted on a test that I still don't know how to fix. So fun times ahead. What we could do though is this Hydra up, right? Let's have a test. What's my normal team? Do we need a Provoker? No. Might as well run it anyway. Kantra, Mithrala. Ugo. Where's Ugo? She's here somewhere. Why can't I see Ugo? I'm being blind as a bat. There. More yelling at Kantra. Don't do Hydra, it's boring. Hydra's fun. This is Nightmare, so I've never run this team on Nightmare. Normally I'd run Ninja. I was curious to see how well it does with this setup. Hey, YST, I got a Silver Watch's attack banner. But you'll enjoy it. Oh wait, there's a Torment head here. I forgot about this. So I just want to see how... Wow, we didn't resist that. Okay. And of course, we didn't land the block buffs on everyone, but it shouldn't spread, so that's okay. Not having a fear option is a bit of an issue here. Have we changed seasons? I didn't remember Torment being in this season. If we change season. No. I didn't think we were on rotation 2. Thought we were on a later rotation. Oh, I have to bring a Shamael. I don't want to bring a Shamael. This is the easiest. It's not the easiest rotation. Easiest rotation is rotation 3 by a mile. Rotation 3 and 4 is a super easy rotation. YST, look what I pulled from that nice win that we had. That's Skinwalker Silver Watchers. Look what it dodged. It dodged all the speed. I'm like, ah! Rage. Rage. So, you know, whatever. Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, it's just the nice thing about like the Cantra could get pulled here, right? We don't need a Provoker, but if I take the Cantra out, we don't have any Provokes at all. So if the Decay Head does come in, we're in trouble. My Nekmathar build, he's in Relentless 265 speed. I feel like I have to bring a Shamael and I don't want to. Tutura would be a good option here as well, but I wouldn't have enough extension. Alright, we're doing it. I'm building out a Shamael. Which one's my slow one? Are you my slow one? Yeah, you're my slow one. Let's just give him some accessories. I have 3, Stiko. I have 3 level 60'd actually. Oh, look, there you go. No, I don't want speed. What am I doing? I didn't want speed. I don't want speed. You'll do. Might get him this weekend. Pray. Res. Something tanky with resistance, please. Any double rolls? Anyone want to give me a double roll? Double roll. No. Alright. Go with that one then. Hey, Leroy. Yeah, I haven't built my Bivold. Cantra is my Provoker. She does great. I don't need another Provoker. That one's good. We're just going to take her out, and we're going to build with Shamael number 3. See, I've got 3 of them. At least we won't have fear anymore. I've never done Nightmare at all, so this is why I'm testing it. Just because I've never really tested Drang. I want to see how good he does. So, yeah. Oh, look at that. High value. Extend all those buffs. Isn't it amazing how I weak hit that twice in a row? No, my Cantra is kind of broken up a bit. I need to rebuild my Cantra now because I was using it as a test in the Sand Devil. How is Mithrala overrated? Mithrala's underrated. Mithrala's just so good. Increased defense, increased attack, cleanse, hex, you name it, she's got it. Hey Patrick, thanks very much. Excited. Yeah, I'm probably gonna like have a bit of a cool off now for the rest of the year on content and just kind of hit it again in the new year. I was gonna do some videos this week, but I'll be honest, it's just caught up on me. Does Grush work in Hydra? Probably. Well, we're tanking the damage so far. And Cleansers provokes off. Might as well hit that to activate. Might as well just hit him on A1. Yeah, that's true. I do wonder if we're going to get, if they ever add an Ultra Nightmare Hydra, whether we will get, whether we will end up getting a, another key. So they give us 4. Or whether we just have to sacrifice something. So, I don't know. Oh. This is why I don't like Shamael, because look, we've got to wait a century for him to just tickle the boss because we don't have a block debuffs. Oy. I got 3, it's not bad. Well, the good news is the first thing I wanted to check was, am I actually able to sustain the damage? And it looks like I am. Do I think Masiliak, Priest, or no Dark Hail would be better for CB with Gnishak? Probably Dark Hail because it's an A1. Yeah, I know people like to auto Hydra. I actually enjoy not autoing Hydra. It's nice to have content you don't have to auto. I want to hit a target with that because it'll reduce my cooldown, which is what I didn't do before. The damage is a bit low, I'll be honest. I was expecting more from Drang. Isn't it frustrating that for some reason my Shamael is going to be the first one eaten? Somehow I managed to make him have the highest crit damage. I don't know how I managed that. Oh god. I'd rather get feared with Cantra, to be honest. One key hard Hydra in 285 is pretty good. Hydra's really difficult. For a lot of newer players, Hydra's really challenging. Happy holidays. Thank you, Mr. Raiden. Not having that A3 booked is a bit disappointing. It's probably going to carve out a lot of my damage loss. Just goes to show you like how books on all champions these days are like essential to some extent. Like if you want to use a champion, you don't have it. There's very few champions you can just run it without having books, right? So few. What up, cat? But I'll be honest, I don't think this is going to be able to one key. It's taking too long. Like we're only at 4 million damage before the first consumption. Probably a better option here is instead of running Shamael, I run Tatura booked. That's probably the better option. Brings more damage, and I get a Veil. I'd have to deal with all these stupid counterattacks. I mean, I've got Dreng. Dreng's damage is pretty good. I've run Ninja in this team before, and it can easily do Nightmare with Ninja, probably. Just wanted to see how Dreng would do with regen sets. Why you can empower Rhonda with Cillian? Because Rhonda can't be summoned, so if a champion can't be summoned, they offer a different champion within the same faction that can empower that champion. They've picked Cillian the Lucky for Rhonda. That's why Vizix empowers Lydia, Blindseer empowers Mithrala. I mean, I suppose it's not terrible damage when you think we're about to hit the first consumption. We're at 5 million. We only need 40, so we're a quarter of the, you know, we're an eighth of the way there. It's not so bad. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I just don't want the Torment head at all. Like, I've got Shamael in here because the Torment's there, but I just don't want the Torment head. Nah, I'm pretty sure my Ninja could easily one key. It's whether or not Dreng can one key is what I'm questioning. And considering he's not 100%, it's probably causing half the problem here. So this will be the test now, how quickly we can get the guy out. Obviously, this is pretty awkward because that's my Shamael being eaten. Yeah, my Ninja did 50, like, the Ninja team that I ran did like 60 million in Brutal. So, people undervalue Ninja in this boss. That's a bit awkward. He's going to put Poison Cloud out now. I'm going to cleanse, I might as well just do that. Let's do that again. Poison Cloud is a problem. Because we got provoked. Ah, man. I got rid of the phase at least. I mean, I'm getting it out, though. He should pop out in a minute. If I hit that. Let's just hit that for War Master. Right, we got Shamael out. So that's the first check. Can we actually get a champion out with the damage? Yes, we can. Within 3, so that's pretty good. Now the question is, can we actually do enough damage to 1 key at all? We're getting up to like a quarter of the way there. Which, considering we're unbooked, is pretty good going. How much health and CD for the Dreng build? Well, in the Sand Devil, you can build a lot. You kind of want more defense. Is that an accuracy support or your accuracy? What do you mean? Not sure what you mean. Okay, we got 3 bins out. We'll take that. Oh, here we go again. There we go. Right, could we please do some work? Let's do some of that. Boost. Drop. Smash him for some damage. Can you believe we have weak hit that hen on the left so many times? Well, the good news is we're not dying. The bad news is I don't know if we're going to be able to do enough damage before we die. And the question will be now what head we get out. Because if we get the Decay head, it's pretty much GG because we have no provokers in this team. This is where a Cantra will be better than a Shamael. Alright, let's get rid of those poisons. Necmo's been eaten. Don't worry, we can activate. We need a Hex though. It is the Hex. Might as well keep hitting that for a while. It's about to wake up. What are we going to get? Oh, Suffering. Okay, well, we'll take Suffering. We don't have any Poison Cloud problems this time. Oh, that Provoke is annoying. A block debus would be helpful in this team. Oh, come on. Because of that provoke, I wasn't able to block the buffs. And because of all this, I'm probably not going to be able to stop that. Not too many blimmin' debuffs on this dude. We didn't land many burns. All because I have to run stupid. Well, I think my Godseeker's built really squishy. I don't think Godseeker's going to live. Oh, we got a nice Brimstone proc there. This has only failed because of the provoke. The provoke has failed this. Because I couldn't put block buffs up to stop all that. Free regroup. Wonder how much. It's a shame we can't see how much like damage we get on a free regroup. Oh, Shamael. I'm not using Shamael. Shamael's dumb. I don't like Shamael. I'll deal with the fears. It's better. Dren can't do enough damage. So we'll just go Ninja again. Just think he is reasonably built strong still. I don't want to use Duchess. I have a cleanser I don't need. Ah. Messed around with the build so much I need to rebuild her. I don't want to bring a Shamael. It takes so much time with a Shamael. I'd rather just have fears constantly. That's how I feel about it. I'd rather just be feared. And kill the head quicker. Missed. Yeah, we didn't landed it. Plump. So, we're not tanking any of the buff things that he's throwing at us, but hey. Cleanse all that away at least. So we're going to use Ninja basically to kill the Head of Torment. That's the plan here. use Ninja, kill the Head of Torment, and then hope that we don't get a Head of Torment back. Which so far is going okay. Although again, the damage is not that high. Because we keep losing turn meter there. I shouldn't have used that A2 there, that was silly. Oh, stupid thing. I'll just go like that. Cleanse everything. How much more quicker we get through this because we don't have to deal with Shamael constantly pummeling at us. It's the biggest problem with Shamael, isn't that he's good, it's just it takes so long for him to go through all his cycling if you don't have a block debuffs. I'd rather just not have him. If I'm being brutally honest. Ugh. Oh, thanks for the counter-attack. Appreciated that. Ooh, that was a big hit. That'll cleanse at the moment. There we go. Heal up. Nice. We're going to get our first consumption. Cleanse all that. Cool. We got a Brimstone proc. Lovely. Smack him. Oh, didn't do enough damage. Oh, not the provoke again. Right, come on, give me my champion back. That's not giving me my champion back. That's still not giving me my champion back. Oh, are we doing this thing where we have no bars left, but we're not gonna... There we go. All this extended. Poison Cloud is a bit of a problem, but we do have burns out, which is nice. Oof. Wow, we're at quarter of the way to a 1 key on Nightmare. What's the, is it 40 million for Nightmare 1 key, guys? Anyone able to check for me? Boom. $36.6. Okay, so not quarter of the way. For some reason, in my head, I had it at like 40 million. I don't know why. Might as well save already too. Get all these poisons eaten out. We'll have you back. Oh, that was a big hit. Don't know why we took such a big hit there. Need to heal up. Thanks for more poisons. Heal up again. Go smack him for some damage. There we go. I mean, it's going okay considering. Full cleanse. That's what I was waiting for. We're about to get a lot of dead heads in a second. Yeah, Crimson Helm's base speed is awful. I was looking, I was like, why am I struggling to get this build up? I was like, ah, that'll be why. Oh my god, I'm being layered with poisons here. You get that poison head down because there's so many on me. Right, ninja's in. Boost, no. Got one more turn. Please don't provoke me. Please, for the love of all that is real in my life, don't provoke me. Oh, come on. Heads are dying left, right, and centre here. It's all going pop. Max HP. There we go. Heads are dying everywhere. What? Honestly, there is something busted about temporal chains, guys. Right, watch this now. Watch how often temporal chains is about to fire off. Look at it go. I have no idea what's going on. Something is busted with it. Oh, come on. Right. We didn't get any uptime on one of those heads because everyone was feared. Oh. Guess what I don't have in my team? A provoker. The one thing I didn't want to show up. It's the only thing I haven't got in this team is a provoker that I can rely upon. Okay, so we got Wrath suffering. As long as the Poison Cloud head doesn't come out again. We need to get rid of this Torment head. So, like yesterday. Ninja's not in crit damage at all. Yeah, Husk is a provoker when he has accuracy. He's not going to have enough accuracy for this difficulty. Full cleansing coming in a second. I don't even know if I'm going to have enough damage to get rid of the life barrier. Because of this provoking. I might have to drop Godseeker for a Neri. But I don't think the Neri can survive. Elva, sorry, not a Neri. Stupid provokes is what's causing a lot of this problem. Can I recover this? It's looking impossible. Please don't reek. Right. Okay. Well, we got a bit of time now before any cleanse happens, so hopefully the max HP is going to take out that shield. Oh, it didn't. Okay, phew. He's not going to fully heal. Who's next in the consumption pipeline? Mithrala. Right, okay. Didn't heal. Ow. Ow again. Heal up. We really need to kill this freaking torment head. Can I just kill it? No. There we go. No more fears. Okay. Let's get some damage. Okay, well, it's that's the only good thing with Necmo here. We're doing Nightmare fast foot. Sort of. Trying. He's now got block debuffs. You little crap. Can we get him through War Master? There we go. Mithrala's out. We might stand a chance of recovering this. We kind of need to get healing out yesterday. It's going so well. That decay head, that cleanse head killed me. Maybe I can recover it. Nope. That's why I don't do Nightmare, guys. It was an experiment. I don't feel it's like far away. This requires more balance. But you can see like Ninja's damage is easily doing well enough. Like Ninja's pretty good. But it's just a case of there's too much provokes going on. Well, you can't when there's Torment. That's the problem. Like, if you can kill the Torment head quickly, but the Torment head lived for so long, because the thing is, the Torment head got an extra like 400,000 HP that it shouldn't have got. So it was kind of like it was kind of like he lived a bit too long, which kind of sucked. But you know. It happens. It's not that it's not that I need. I just haven't built him for accuracy because I don't use him as a provoker. It's not the provoke isn't going to make a difference here. What was costing us really is a lack of block debuffs, a lack of balance within the team. Aneri's now no longer got War Master, which means I need to build a second Aneri if I'm being honest. Realistically, she shouldn't have Spirit Haste either. We just got hit by a bad rotation of a full cleanse when he didn't have decreased attack into a smack. Otherwise, that would have been okay. But, yeah, that's enough Hydra. I just want to see if I could try and do it. I mean, Elvid might be a good replacement long term. But she's built too squishy. I think she'll die. Because I don't want to use Duchess for this team. My other team has Duchess in it, and I don't want to use Duchess for that team. Basically. What do I need to do? I need to do... Have I done both of these? Yes. Dailies. Necmo's in Relentless, yeah. Oh, fight and tag team with the team from the single faction. Oh, okay. Apparently I forgot to do that. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying I don't want to. Or more to the case, I haven't built him with accuracy because I don't use him provoking my other teams. So I'm not saying that he's not a viable provoker. I know he is, but I just haven't done that in that case. I don't even know if I can, Darth. I think I've got 2 of the epics and 2 of the rares. I haven't done the training. So where am I going to be? Where am I going to be? So I got 2 of the epics. And I got 2 of the rares. So I need 1, 2... So I need 6 rares, right? So... 1... 2... 3... Tomorrow will be the arenas, that's 4. So yeah, you can only really do it if you've done the training, and I couldn't be bothered doing the training. I'm not doing all this, it's too much. I could if I wanted to push to that by tomorrow, but I just don't want to. I'm so done with training for a while. I'm not going hard for Torment, no. I actually find rotation 3 the easiest. I don't struggle at all on rotation 3. I prefer it. I prefer rotations when there's no torment head, because I feel like when there's a torment head, your options become very narrow. You almost have to either go a Duchess or a Shamael, or you've got a problem. Yeah, I can't be... I needed a month off training Hades. Like, so I decided to just push to get the epic and then just skip the training events and one of the artifacts. It's just... How many points will be needed for the champion training tournament? I don't really know. Probably 6,000 to 7,000, I'd have thought. Something in that region. Are there any of the champs that can bring veils and still be useful? Totura's pretty good. It's a pretty good option. Elva obviously brings a singular veil on the passive, but that's not that crazy. Rector can. The only thing with Rector Drath is you have that HP check. So if you're low HP, she can't put the veil. She has to fully heal you up. So that's the only thing with Rector is you don't get a reliable veil. Whereas with Totura and Duchess, you do, right? You get that veil up all the time. There's no inconsistencies with it, so. Elva will give the veil to the lowest current HP, and if everyone is at maximum HP, she'll give it to the leader. Yeah, it is for 2 turns on a 4 turn. But so is Duchess, though, Ghosty, right? I'm pretty sure Duchess is on a 2 for 4. Burn through some energy there. Getting closer and closer. Alright, let's just burn through some 3v3. Team setups, that. Yeah, the tournament just forces your hand. You force your team, like, your team is normally centered around certain champions, so it's either centered around a Necmo, or it's centered around a Duchess, or it's centered around a Shamael, right? Whichever one you pick, you normally force yourself into a specific structure with it, and then you're taking up slots around it, so... If you have to bring Shamael, you want to bring someone in the lead that's impactful about it, which means then you take up 2 spots. So Necma's fine for that because Necma's good anyway. But then it's like, okay, well, you need still a provoker. You still need damage. You still need debuffs. You still need buffs. Shamael is doing one thing and one thing only. He may do it really well, but it's not amazing. Yeah, that's what so on my other team, I basically run Duchess with Krisk and Skull Lord, right? So Skull Lord's a 2-turn provoke, Krisk is a 3-turn. We've also got the Veil extended by Krisk, so it goes Duchess into a Krisk extend. And that's how I sustain the team. But the thing with Decay is you just can provoke him. It's really easy to keep him under control. Like, I literally run Kantra, right? And Kantra gives me debuffs, she gives me control, she gives me sustain. That's all I need. It's a 1-turn cooldown. It's a 1-turn duration, 2-turn cooldown. So you can't necessarily rely on him to do it 100%, but he places it so he can place it. The good thing about that setup is both Krisk and Skull Lord, they don't attack with their provokes. So if you get unlucky and there's a poison cloud out, you can still provoke, right? You don't have that problem. So I mean, I know you do, Chunk, right? I get that. But it's very difficult, and I'll be honest, it's very difficult unless you have very specific champions to build a team that's going to be able to deal with every single head. And like otherwise, like you bring in a Shamael just to deal with a Torment head, or you bring in, you know, a different thing to deal with others. So, by the way, this guy has got a 6-star Ileal already. Crazy. Umble's cooldown is too long, and she locks herself out of her skills, so... If you want block buffs, you want someone like Archbishop, or you want Ugo, or Uko. Those are the three I would bring for block buffs, block debuffs. Or block buffs, I would say. It is a waste, isn't it, right? I mean, I don't know how a 6-star fully awakened might, you know, fully ascended might do. Because obviously if you're dealing with like a +4 6-star, then obviously he'll do a lot, but... I'm still of the camp that I cannot make Geomancer work reliably and regularly in Hydra. I just don't like him in Hydra. I find he's just... no matter... I've tried him in so many different ways, and it's not... Again, it's not a statement of that he can't do it, because obviously he can. But my personal experience with him is that whenever I try to use Geo, I find his burns don't come out on time. I find that he's not regular enough. I don't find that he's having a big enough impact. I'd rather run a direct burner, someone like Tumasia, Ninja, or Trang, or basically a burner that I know is definitely going to do it. Oh, apparently I'm still running this team. I mean, Shamael works at higher levels. The problem with Shamael is he takes... If you don't bring a block buffs, a block debuffs, his animations just take so long. It's boring as heck. I just can't be dealing with it. You know, so like basically my second team that I run is this. Oh, I hate the fact that these are all the way up here. So that's that. Ooh, Quisky Boy. That. And then normally I run like it could be that. That's who I've been using lately. With Lydia. If I can find her. And then... I always forget who the last person is I put in this team. Oh, it's max HP, right? It's Husk. So that's the other team I run. Basically. Provoke, decrease defense, weaken, increase speed, double nuke, veil protection. No, but I don't really need it, right? I can just outrun it. Because we're going to get burned some Scranky Boy anyway, right? So... But this pretty much runs... Like, I don't even know. I've not tried that on Brutal. My Krisk probably needs a bit of a rebuild, because I built him a while ago and I haven't touched him in ages. What do you mean the team makes no sense? Of course it makes sense. Or are you talking about another team? This team makes perfect sense. Just do that, and then you do that. Lydia, where's Lydia? Where is Lydia? Yeah, but Lydia's got single target block buffs. Right, so we can just do this.
Sorry, I don't know that.
I mean, obviously, this is normally when there's a head of decay, right? So, this is normally when there's a provoke required. Oh, what? Apparently I feared. Sorry, it's probably fine. go hit him for a bit. Like, Skull Lord doesn't need to be in this team, probably. But when it's a... Provokes... when it's a starter with the Head of Decay, probably does. We are probably going to take a bit of a hit because I didn't time my True Fear correctly. But hey, such is the extent of my funness, we should be fine. Yeah, I'm not saying this is a 1 key, though. I never said this was Nightmare 1 key. This is my second team. I'm just curious if it's actually going to be able to do Brutal. Oh, that was a big hit. Oops. Alright, now we can get that out. Sure. I'll do that. You heal if you place an increased attack, so we want to hit you. No, I tend to find you need both. You can't rely on one of them. If one of them gets eaten, your run can fail. You need both. Yeah, so you're boosting him. That is a Skrank, you see. He's a beast, isn't he? We're probably going to take a bit of a hammer in a second. From that dude on the right. I want to make sure you don't ever get any buffs. Here we go. Skrank's on his floor. Is he going to live? Or is he going to die? Actually, I wouldn't mind if Skrank dies here. Resets the hunger counter. Lovely. That's what we wanted. I got feared there. Hey, Ryan. Oh. Might as well. Boom. Fear's gone. Mine's actually built in the 70% crit rate because he's built for my clan boss team. So, not ideal. Go smack him. Do that. Boom. 274,000. Lovely. Gets rid of the poison cloud. What are we going to get? Head of Suffering. This team looks pretty comfortable for Brutal, though. Yeah, I'm really annoyed by that passive. I keep getting caught out by the missing veil. It's amazing even at 70% crit rate, both of them don't crit. What did I say? Oh god, Skull-Lord's going off on one. I don't know if it'll take down Nightmare because I don't think the accuracy levels are set correct. Yeah, it's the Veil animations are really annoying. I might as well save. And if I can kill that Head of Wrath while it's got the buff up, I can do some pretty tasty damage. Go smack it. Go on, kill it. Nice. Alright, so we got Head of Decay. This is why you have to bring the Provoker, right? And here we're not ever going to struggle because he's going to provoke permanently. I want you now to have block buffs because I don't want you getting any ally protection. Hit him for some damage. Yeah, he hits hard. It's on a dead head, remember, so he's going to get a bonus damage multiplier. I need to do that because I need to extend. Should be able to get back around to it in time. Now, what's awkward here is Krisk is my next provoke, is my next consumed target. So that is going to throw out a little bit. So I'm going to use that because hopefully I'll get it back in time. Provoke. Oh, well, that's not good. Okay, so this is like the worst scenario possible. So we need to kill this provoker head on the left very quickly. Everyone's going to get buffs, which is not ideal at all for the situation we're about to face. Because we can't provoke him now because he's got block buffs, because the buff fell out of rotation. So we're probably going to have to deal with a cleanse. And there's a poison cloud. So really, this is all going a little bit Pete Tong. Because it decided to pick on Lydia. Not much I can really do. There we go. This could be a fail because of just a bad setup. Right, well, we can get that into a provoke now, so he's back under control. Oh, can you stop stealing my buffs because it's all off? Frickin' Mischief Head. Right. Now, let's go. It's fine, you buff that. Right, max HP nuke. Yeah, right, whatever, don't really care. I get this back under control. Ow, that really hurt. Right, Krisk is out. Should be back under control now. Just need to wait for these buffs to fall off. He's got another single target. Oh, stop stealing the wrong target's buffs. Honestly. Ah, this is so frustrating. Right, I need to get it back into sync. Right, he's dead. That's fine. I get the speed up. Wait a turn. This is probably a fail, actually, just because of that one bad setup. Because he just keeps stealing buffs because I can't get the buff rotation back up. And there goes another poison cloud, which means he's going to fully heal. One little bit of setup. This is the only problem with Hydra is if there's one bad moment, it's almost unrecoverable, which is where we're at here right now. We had one moment where basically we couldn't cleanse on the left head because the poison cloud came up and he stole buffs because of Krisk. Now it's okay now because the buff count is back to normal, but it's whether or not we can actually recover to the point. Now the only good thing is I can provoke him, but I'm going to save my provoke because he can't do an ability anyway. We need to somehow kill this target without any decreased defense and weaken because Lydia's been eaten. He's got Poison Cloud and Ally Protect. Brutal. Absolutely brutal setup. Krisk is getting absolutely pummeled because we can't get decreased attack out. He's probably dead. Oh, he survived. Oh, nice. Krisk passive. Right, now we're good. Let's recover. Skrank. Give me back my Duchess, my Lydia. Come on. Right. Provoke. Let's get a heal out on you. It's fine. You can steal that. I don't really care. Oh, that revive was bad. Okay. Can we recover? That is the question. It's looking unlikely because we don't really have an awful lot of healing here. She's about to die, probably. Oh, she lived. Let's get a block buffs on you because I want to stop you from getting the reflect. Alright, decrease speed. Oh, she's dead again. We're slowly but surely recovering. Yeah, he's got a bit of accuracy, just not a lot. All this messing around, though, has killed my damage running. So we've not had any decent damage coming out for ages. Right. Okay. Boost that. You provoke. You boost. Kind of tight on buffs here. Not ideal. Chris gonna get a turn. Yeah, yes. Extend. Okay, we've recovered. Somehow. I don't know how we recovered, but we did. Now we have to wait for that because Duchess is about to get eaten. So here's the next problem is, can we get Duchess out in time? Burns 3. Didn't land it on everyone. It's on the mischief head of all things. Just to keep annoying me. Okay. Ally protection is not ideal. But AoE max HP, nice. So now we just need to hopefully get some few more hits here. Block buffs out on him. Get a provoke going, speed buff. Eventually one of these things is going to hit that target. I can't keep rolling the 75%. I don't want that pain link. Oh, come on! I've lost because of that. I'm done. I'm done. No more. I'm done for the night. No more. It was going perfect until that one moment where we lost control of the entire fight, and as soon as you lose control, it's over. And there's nothing you can do. Basically. Recovering is so hard. Not unless you're using OP picks. So, anyway, guys, I am pretty tired, so I'm going to call it early than normal. Normally we're here till like midnight, but it's probably a healthy thing to do. It has been a fun 2020. 2022, 2023, 2022, I have no idea. I will be back in the new year. Probably streaming maybe on the 2nd. We'll see how it goes. There may be an odd stream here or there throughout the Christmas period, but don't expect to stream on Monday, which is Boxing Day, or on Thursday. I may do a stream next week, next Thursday. We'll see what happens. If you're going for any sort of pulls tomorrow in the Void Shards, good luck. I wish you the best of all luck. I'm probably going to be pulling a few, but not much. I'll be always around. Yeah, I'm not offline, but I'll be just not streaming, and the videos will be a bit quieter. So yes, not the best Hydra experience there. Sorry, bit frustrating, but yeah. So I'll be around as always. I'm always online. So if I don't, see you into the next stream. But yeah. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I will catch you after Christmas. Have a good time. Have a good time with your family. Rest, relax. It's been a hell of a year. We're going to start with another year next year. God knows what we're going to face. But yeah. Good luck with your rolls. I'll see you then.